Hi, Mama Tree here. I want to talk more about this idea of being radically, fiercely present to your emotions. So say you've decided you want to give that a try. You've been avoiding your emotions and you've been experiencing the backlash that comes when they all come crashing out at the wrong moment. So now you've maybe gone to a workshop and teased out some of your emotions in a safe space and thought, yeah, this is the way to go. I need to do this more often. Let's talk about some ground rules for keeping you safe when you're being fiercely, radically present to your real-time emotions. For starters, are you physically safe? Are you someplace where you can be screaming, crying, fuming mad without anybody rushing over to you? Because people aren't used to seeing this level of emotion pouring out of a person. So you got to be somewhere safe. You don't always have to be alone. There are certain retreats and healing centers where it's appropriate to do this kind of work with people. So either with a group or by yourself, but you have to be safe. You need to be emotionally safe. So what do I mean by that? If you've decided to be radically present to your real emotions and you try to share that with a person who is not practiced in any form of emotional management, someone who doesn't have a high emotional intelligence is going to try to shut you down. They might project onto you the possibility that you're diseased or broken because you're too emotional, you're hysterical. This is actually them feeling deeply threatened. They work hard to not feel their own emotions, and if you're throwing your emotions at them, they're going to do whatever it takes to shut you down. And depending on the level of your fierceness and the depth of the pain that you're pouring out, certain people would even go to the extent of trying to have you committed. So, and that's not the same as gaslighting you. That's just a throwback of a system that's really never made space for emotionality. Okay, so you have to be with safe people. You can't just force your fierce emotional presence onto any random family member. So get a good therapist, find a support group, be by yourself, do whatever you need to do to be physically and emotionally safe. I think that mental safety is kind of lumped into that same bit there. You need to know for a fact that nobody is going to project insanity on you. The other thing is, if you're going to be really raw and in your emotion, pour that out, to get it over with sooner, then you need to give yourself a time limit. So I don't know exactly what that's going to be. I don't know how big the thing is that you're processing, okay? But just use your best intuition, Give yourself a half an hour or an hour starting off. So say, for instance, I'm processing about one of the rapes that I experienced in my 20s. I've been feeling it coming up, and I thought I did all my work, but there's something more to it. I'm busy right now. I'm at work, or I'm with my kids. I can't do it right now. I schedule myself a time. Like, okay, on Saturday, I can arrange it to be alone. Be alone for a couple of hours. I'm going to give myself a half hour. I'm going to do what I can to pull up. Maybe it's rage this time. Maybe it's more of a sad, slow, weepy feeling. I don't know. Give yourself the time to do the work and then cushion that with time before and after. So if you're going to do a half hour of rage, you need a half hour to dig that up and really get into that, and then you maybe need an hour to let all that come back down and integrate into your body mind. So make sure you're safe. Make sure you're either alone or with people who have already decided they're capable of being present to dark emotions. And give yourself a time period. If you get to the end of that time period and it's still safe and appropriate for you to stay there and stay in it and go deeper, that's your choice. You can do that. But if you've got to go and pick the kids up at the sitter or make dinner or whatever it is you've got to do, then you shut that down. And guess what? You're really good at shutting it down. You've been doing that. You've been taught that your whole life. So that part's easy. And if you need more work, schedule more work. Some things are so huge that you need an entire weekend or a week. So figure out what it is you need, take little doses, a half hour of rage per week and until you get it out. And pretty soon we'll talk about some of the things you can do to pull this intense energy up and out of your flesh and your psyche. But we'll do that another day. Love you guys. I believe in you. I know you can do this work. Just be safe.